I think what an MSP is, that definition is actively changing every day. Yeah. What a managed service provider was in 2016 was help desk plus RMM agents plus web root. You're a fully managed service provider, right? You're just a break fix provider who billed monthly. Not for profit, need security, huge market. Yeah, that's true. But anyway, as cybersecurity, sort of the threats have obviously evolved, the needs have evolved, the landscape has evolved, the workplace evolved, blah, blah, blah. MSPs have had to evolve. But now, really, to offer a real managed service offering, you have to essentially be an MSSP, because that's really, they're oftentimes conflated from the end user's perspective. They think you manage all the IT, so you do all the security stuff, right? Now, is that technically true? I think everybody's definition of MSP is different. So what that ultimately means is you have to be able to provide all the things that they need in order to stay secure, but you do not have to in-house all of those things. I think you can absolutely be a managed service provider without having the most in-depth cybersecurity tools, but you can't tell people you're offering them if you're not. I like to think of like the MSP is like the quarterback of the technical team, right? And the cyber guys are like, whatever, fill in the blank, the linemen, pick a position. And the customer is the general manager, right? They ultimately they're responsible for the success of the entire thing, but they don't know how to throw a football. They're not on the field. They can't take a hit. We can. That's our job. But as the MSP, you're the one who ultimately governs and manages the client relationship. Fair? That's our job. Manage the client's relationship, manage the perceived value. All that stuff is up to us. It's not up to you. If you're running an MSP, you don't have to climb under every desk and turn every screwdriver, right? You don't have to do every password reset. That's not your job if you run an MSP. Your job is to build a team who can manage those responsibilities. I think selling cyber is the exact same way. Leveraging an MSSP whose job is way more narrow than yours is by far the lowest lift way of competing with what is becoming the standard of like a full cyber solution. Agreed? Because
if I could add to that, not just competing, but also protecting yourself, which I think is an important element of this as well.
Absolutely. Like, it's not a good look when you are the MSP and you get hacked, or when your client gets hacked, or when you insist that they get cyber insurance. When you sign them on, you go, well, we got to get you ready for cyber insurance. Then you put in your tool, and then they get denied a policy because you didn't actually equip them well, or they got a terrible policy with a super high premium because you just weren't equipped.
It's a good way to lose a customer.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good way to lose your reputation instantly, right? All this comes back to, great, we can sit here and we can have an echo chamber of all the things we want to do, but if we can't get the client to see the value of this, it is quite literally of no value to us to have all these tools if we can't sell, implement, and execute it. The greatest MSSP, if they're not client facing, they need the MSPs to go and round up the endpoints, right? Yep. For you to observe. So what the missing piece is, I think that the narrative about cyber should change. When I was selling managed service, I'll be honest, like pre-COVID especially, I mean, I sold through 2020, but pre-COVID, cybersecurity was like, yeah, we have a cybersecurity plan. We'll keep you secure. And people went, sounds good. And that was really all you had to say, right? If you had a pocket protector on and you were confident and you had a nice portfolio.
I forgot the pocket protector. That's where I went wrong.
Right. That's where you went wrong. Right. Yeah, football was a little alienating of a reference.
Well, I think, we could use the medical angle, right? Like the MSPs are the general practitioners, right? Yes. They're in charge of your healthcare, right? And an MSP's job is to be the trusted advisor in technology, right? And bridge the business needs into technical needs. And when it comes to cybersecurity, right, the MSP's job is to care, and to make sure that the right solutions are to put in place, not to do everything, right?
Right.
And your general practitioner doesn't stick you on a treadmill, right, and stick probes in your heart, right?
Right.
Like
100%. You do owe it to yourself to be secure, but you owe it to yourself to sell a competitive cyber stack, but you are not under the obligation to internalize all of the responsibility of executing every single piece of the cybersecurity stack. It's
Right.
unreasonable, right?
Yep.
But us IT guys, we're so often such control freaks, you know. That's why we love this, because we love having the finger on the pulse of everything, and we think, well, everything, you know, the famous Jeff Bezos, everything I own, I can control, right? And so there's a school of thought that if you own it, internalize it, you can. But if you're in the $1 to $2 million mark, you've got 40 high volume clients, you're trying to grow, you do not have time
You're
to
not Superman.
develop that stack. If you do, it will be at the detriment of your development in revenue. It's either get really nerdy and fall down a deep rabbit hole of cybersecurity, or grow your business. Which one do you want?